All right, all you yennies and laurels out there, welcome to Communist Broadcast. And now, your host, Comrade Weber.
Hello. Also with me, Commissar Sean Sullivan.
And narrator, Doggy Dilf.
Yeah. Perestroika.
I want to lead you in as like a guy that is just making sure we're saying everything right. A man of the red state. Who's coming for us? The Russians?
A ministry official.
Did they file that they want the KG beats?
A member of the party is here with us.
Yeah. They want a patent on the KG
welcome
beats.
to State-sanctioned broadcast.
Here to come at you with live breaking news. America has fallen.
Breaking
news. America with K has fallen.
When is that? When's that hammer gonna drop on the Trump scandal, man? I feel like it's just gonna stall out for a.
My question is, if when the hammer does drop, like, is all like the corrupted things that gone through get repealed? Like, that's not how that works.
No, I don't think so.
Nope. The corruption is entrenched.
Yeah,
I
get that.
Spent a lot of my past week researching exactly whose head would be put on the guillotine if this were revolutionary France.
Fucking Robespierre style.
And the list is long.
The list is long, ladies and gentlemen, and the list is both blue and red.
Yeah.
Soon to be just red, if you catch my drift. But we don't advocate for violence on this podcast, so don't go out.
Nope, we do not.
And he's talking about blood, not just Republicans.
Yeah, I was actually listening to one of our earlier podcasts just for some like reference on like some of our hits and misses, and the part where it's like, oh, kill all the politicians. Immediately redacted. It's like, we do not advocate violence.
So, but
which makes
so
me
they
not
force
wanna
all this. They force all these laws through, but they'd force all these laws through. What would be this? You'd have to manually. It would take years to repeal all that stuff.
It's the same way every time a cop gets caught falsifying and literally framing somebody, they just keep everybody he put in jail.
I think they call that. Well, actually, not that. They get put on administrative leave, paid administrative leave.
Yeah, you have to literally be recorded.
But when they do get you on the falsify,
they don't go. They unless somebody with money puts an effort behind going and looking at this guy's previous cases, nothing happens. Like, maybe he gets charged, but they
Are you sure?
I've literally.
It's a murder charge. The cop actually murdered somebody, and he framed you for it.
Yeah, that literally.
He's not the guy that got falsely put in prison. Doesn't have to stay in jail.
No, he doesn't. But they don't go back and look at all the other shit this cop's touched and see how many other lives this guy's ruined. They let the one guy that they proved he framed go. They charge the cop sometimes, and then just that's the end of it.
Mm-hmm.
What about us?
Right.
What about the little guy?
The little guy doesn't matter.
Dude, what about fucking Varg?
Piglet mattered.
I think Varg is loose.
Varg?
He got let loose in Milwaukee because of that church that burnt down. Did you see that shit?
Oh, Varg Bernkeys is loose in Milwaukee?
Yeah, he was the church burner.
Yeah, he was. He's just a nut job.
Yeah, he's a fucking total nut job, and we're not advocating a church burning here. But there's a historic church that the roof and like the spire burnt down locally. Is fucking crazy. It's like a 4-alarm fire.
Infiltrate United States.
What
this is World War III. Yeah, that's some Varg shit right there. That guy's nuts.
Yeah, he's like a gun nut and all that shit, right?
He is not a good man in any way. He killed his bandmate. He is a nationalist. He's just a psycho. Just a bunch of miscreant kids.
Dude, nationalism is fucking scary, man.
That's literally how the Nazis rose to power.
Yeah, love your country and whatever, but
love your neighbor too.
Nationalism is just crazy.
What's the difference between you and that guy 10 miles north of you? Not a lot, usually.
Yeah, not a lot.
Like, I don't know. There are a lot of people who just need to take a step back and chill.
Y'all need to smoke some weed.
Y'all need Jesus, and not white Jesus.
Hey, there was a referendum, put that on the ballot this November, I believe.
For the medical, it's just medical. It's not recreational.
Oh, really? It is? I thought it was straight to recreational.
That's generally no. I think it's just medical because that's generally the first step. So a lot of marijuana advocates push for that because they look at that as like, you know, the gateway referendum, if you will.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, I don't know.
You know, we were talking all this Russian stuff earlier for our intro here. I actually had a news story about that. Vladimir Putin got beat by a cat crossing that bridge that they just built. Did you see that?
Tweeted about it.
Yeah.
What?
You saw the story. You want to fill them in on it?
Basically, they fixed up this big infrastructure project in Russia. It was this big. It was this giant bridge. It was this big deal. And Putin's like, I will be the first one to cross this bridge. I'm gonna walk across it. Well, he's like at this ceremony, and like a stray cat just like takes off out of the crowd and walks across the bridge. And they like film it, and somebody grabs the cat, and like the cat somebody creates a Twitter account for the cat, and is basically like, "Ha! I was actually the first one to cross the bridge. Sorry, Putin." And there's a picture of Putin holding the cat.
I mean, to me, it seems more like a marketing thing.
100% propaganda machine in full motion. But
what if they're actually in the process of hunting down the person that made that page, and they're gonna fucking black bag him and make sure he
beats
never...
him?
It was either a propaganda from day one, or they might have actually already killed that person.
Or the cat's already fucking dead.
The cat has been killed and replaced by a doppelganger who's part of the KGB. This is a KG cat.
Oh man, I saw a GIF this week where it was a kid doing a karate class and Putin was present. He was sparring with Putin.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
And the president, Putin gives him permission to essentially like,
throw him.
And then he checks again.
And
he triple checks.
He checks with Putin. And then he checks with the people around him. He's like, "Did you all hear this?"
I'm allowed to, right? Right?
Yeah.
Right?
I can throw the most
checks.
powerful, like the second most. He's probably tied with Xi Jinping, the leader of China, as the two most powerful men in the Eastern Hemisphere.
That was fucking crazy.
And a 12-year-old just, he did body throw him.
That fucking kid is just got to be on top of the world. It's like, oh man, I got the throw.
And like, I mean, and
President.
Yeah, fucking President Putin. And to be fair,
in front of Babushka.
and to be fair, actually no, in front of
I was just saying his grandma was there.
Yeah, I'm trying to say it in Korean though, because he was either Chinese or Korean.
Yeah, he was a little Asian boy.
I think he was Chinese. Although I think Judah's a lot bigger.
Chinese or Asian?
Yeah, but I'm saying he's either Chinese or Korean.
Man, I wish we had a big fan following and I could just ask somebody to make us a picture of Putin and Xi Jinping kissing.
Or just ask somebody in the live chat, fact checked us. Somebody out there on the internet fact check us for us.
Do my dirty work, minions.
I had kind of a funny thing happen to me at work this week.
Do tell.
Was it funny?
I had told somebody about a story that happened in my teenage years. There was a hangout where a bunch of us would go. We'd skateboard. Back behind Jewel Osco, those apartment complexes back there. I had a friend that lived back there, and we'd go dumpster diving occasionally, like actually very frequently, maybe daily. So we found one day this like stash of porno tapes. And we're just like, oh man, this is the fucking promised land. And we found underneath them a translucent dildo. It was like so big. It was like, how would you fit this in a person? It was like almost as big as like a Gatorade bottle in girth. Like an old school Gatorade bottle.
Like a 20 ouncer, right?
You're talking like portions like this.
Could you flip it towards the camera so they can see?
Portions like this?
No, not like one of the smaller. Yeah, like that. So, I was just telling that to a coworker a couple weeks ago. So
sit on it, baby.
My coworker is telling this story to another coworker, and is Glenn, and he just tells this dude, he's like, "Oh, go up to Doug and just like say, oh, you found a dildo in your dumpster." So there's another guy named Doug where I work, and this dude just like walked up to him in the office, like, "So you found a dildo in a dumpster?" He's like,
What?
Thankfully, he was like a good sport about it, but then he came back and he's like, "I went to the other Doug." We're just like, "You poor, stupid son of a bitch."
I think the only one that feels foolish, I don't know. I think the guy that just randomly got asked.
Right, he's just
is the real butt of all that.
So I walked up to him later that day and I was like, "So you finding any dildos in your dumpster?" And he's like, "I don't know what the fuck he was talking about." It's like, dude, just roll with it. Just roll with it, man.
It was actually a double dildo.
A double header.
Double D.
Double D.
Double feature.
That's me. That's me. I'm a double D.
Yep, he's the daddy Delf Delbert.
That'd be a triple D. Dougie Daddy Dilf Dober. That's a quadruple D.
Whew, so many D's. Woof. Woof.
I'm sorry. I don't know what's happening to me.
It's falling apart.
Allergies or
Wake
something.
up, Seven! Don't die on us!
All right, let's do some news.
Okay. I have one. We actually can. We can't put this on video if I do get it, but it's a woman who took a shit in Tim Hortons.
I saw the headline, but I did not click.
Oh, I watched it. I fucking watched it.
Like, what kind
can I put it up on video for everybody?
What kind of shit we talking about here?
Fecal matter.
Why don't you guys talk a little bit? I'm gonna boot this up.
Didn't she basically?
How are you gonna leave us with that? It's like, oh, bring this
talk
up?
about Tim Hortons. We all love Canada.
Essentially, I think she accused him of like fucking up her order or something, and she's like yelling at him, and they're like, "Dude, chill." And I think she just basically like craps in her hand. Like, it's quick too. Like she's primed. Like she has one in the chamber.
Like a fucking monkey.
It's instantaneous. She's mad. This is the response. And it's like she whips it like a grenade just right back into the kitchen. And it's like, lady, if you have to resort to poop throwing, you lost.
Right.
Like, there is not a situation where someone goes, "Oh, they deserve."
Here we go.
For you to crap in your hand and throw it at them.
Our Canadian friends up north. I don't know what's happening to them.
She's probably up there on vacation from New Jersey.
You want to put it a little bit bigger? Okay, so yeah, she's yelling at this chick.
Yeah, she's like,
She goes and takes a bunch of napkins.
Oh my god.
Fuck you.
I'm gonna take a poop.
I am going.
Oh my god. Ah!
Bitch,
oh no. Oh!
And then she wipes and throws the wipes.
The guy sitting and talking to his wife is just like, that just happened. What is
this lady
this?
just shit on the floor and threw it at somebody.
Watch this guy. He does not. He sits down. This guy right here. He sits down. He watches this all unfold. He doesn't even have a coffee or anything.
He's just watching.
He's looking right at her.
Oh my
she
god.
is pooping a foot from him.
He can see that it's going on though.
Blink,
He doesn't even flinch, dude. He's just like, this bitch is crazy.
He laughs.
No.
He leans back with his head.
Is this really happening?
Yeah, I don't think we can put that on YouTube, actually. Good call. I'm going to trust your judgment. I'm going to trust your fucking judgment in the future for that. Fuck me, dude.
So, are
Just
the
imagine
Canadians
if it was
losing it or what?
Just imagine if it was like fecal spatter. Just like the when the espresso machine is done. Just like at the end, it's like
You're right, though, man. Primed and ready.
Dude, she was...
I feel like she went in there...
I feel like that's
ready to do that.
Yeah, that's the thing, is nobody...
I gotta take all your shit. I'm just gonna go fuck with the guy behind Tim Hortons.
Like, that is first degree premedicated public shitting.
Premeditated is probably the word you're looking for, although she may have been medicated.
I think the medication was worn off at that point. Or she forgot to take them.
Or she was doing some home medication, if you get my drift.
Holy
my God.
shit.
That's apt.
Literally, holy shit.
Apt. So, do you guys like that one?
No.
Oh, yeah.
I'm upset.
Loved it.
All right.
That one's definitely more reliant on the video. Sorry, viewers that were listening.
Because I don't think Twitch would have let us put that up either.
Oh,
that's
no.
live leak. That's
no.
That's N rate. That's
yeah.
Not rated.
If it's on live leak, just assume it's not okay.
All right, you got another one? Otherwise, I got some favorite articles about Florida people.
I got a great one, actually. You guys may have seen this in the news. A Japanese train company had to issue an apology this week.
Oh, about being 25 seconds fast?
Their train left 25 seconds early, and they had to issue a fucking statewide apology to their riders.
This is not the first time it's happened either. I think maybe like 3 or 4 years ago.
They left
something
15 seconds early, and they had to, it's a kind of a scandal.
Yeah.
No, dude, like literally they
have the most on time and efficient public transportation in the world.
Watch the conductors, they have these periodic stations that there's like cameras, and they have to point at the camera as the operator to prove that they are paying attention to what they are doing.
Yep.
And it's just like every so often they're just like,
the Japanese work ethic is insane. They try to emulate robots.
It's so crazy that they have, like, I still think they have the highest suicide rate, right?
Yeah.
They work to death over there.
At least of any developed country. Or developed country, I mean.
Yeah.
That and the aging population, Japan's got some...
25 seconds, though.
Yep.
You know, in America, I'd be happy. I'd be like, 25 seconds. That's a new record.
If the bus would show up like within 10 minutes either way of its scheduled time.
Instead of 45 minutes,
right.
Where I'm sitting there like, did I miss the last one? No,
right? Am I on some shit? No, the bus is just doing its thing.
The bus has a crazy person on it right now, and it's not moving.
Right? The transit authority is trying to wrestle some crackhead off the bus.
I saw that today. Just an altercation. Me and Brittany went to eat for her birthday, and we were driving back. We came down Humboldt. We turned right on Capitol. Outside of Estherbrook, there's a taller fellow, black, with a Letterman jacket. And
those are hot right now.
Yeah,
too.
He's out in the street. Oh, well, it's hot, too, because it's warm out. And this dude's in, like, long pants, the Letterman. Gear. He has a bag of stuff that he's thrown on the sidewalk. And he is out in the middle of the street, like, walking after this dude who was just on a jog, and the dude on the jog is like, he like took out one earbud. He's like, I'm sorry, and he runs back across the other side of the street. Brittany, what is going on over there? Oh, just some crazy man altercation. And that is the kind of stuff that happens on the bus. They snap, they take a shit in their hand, and they throw it at you.
Right. Yeah. It's crazy that, like, we literally just had a tactical situation up the street. Yep. Mentioned in a previous podcast, we had a fucking standoff where a guy just went nuts, and there was a siege at an apartment building.
Something in the water, man. Everyone in the city.
And you know what?
Crazy.
I didn't think a second thing of it. I was like, huh.
That's like, the worst part.
The thing was like, oh, I couldn't park my car. Like, yeah, I felt bad for the people, but it was literally like, oh, another day in the city.
Yep. Can't go fucking a week without a school shooting anymore. It's fucking insane, man.
I think part of that is also because it's like news is right in your face, but that was like one of the things where it's like, oh, it's like right there, right over there.
Yep, there was actually a shooting today. R.I.P.
Where?
Oh, you didn't hear about that?
Nope.
In Texas today, there was a shooting.
School shooting, right?
9 dead.
Fuck.
This dude literally walked up into this school with a shotgun, a pistol, a rifle, and pipe bombs. came in 7:15 in the morning.
Student, random dude, college, high school?
Student, 17 years old. He's been arrested, basically walked into his art class, or walked into an art class 7:15 in the morning with a shotgun, shot 3 people dead.
Jesus Christ.
How'd they stop him?
It looks like the school, and it's one of those things, it's really easy to either blindly support or dump on cops. There's a lot of really strong emotions on either side of the aisle, but especially after like the Parkland shooting, there's the incidents where the school resource officer is basically like, I'm not going in, and caught a lot of flack and had to resign over the fact that while a school shooting was going on, the cop basically sat outside. But in this instance, this sounds like the school resource officer, who was a retired police detective, ran in, helps either single-handedly or helps to do them. Details are still kind of sketchy at the moment because it just happened today. But the police officer was shot, is in critical condition, and had to receive surgery for an upper shoulder, like torso shot from this guy. But the guy was shot in the lower extremities, brought down, is in custody. 9 confirmed dead, I think 12 injured, like 6 were released or maybe 1 was critical, 1 was in like surgery, and 1 was, it's just a fucking nightmare.
It's a mess.
And it's just, you feel so bad for these like 7, because I was kind of on the news a lot today as I'm kind of on my way out of my current job. I kind of just wrapped up today, so I spent a lot of time and watching these fucking 17-year-olds break down because they literally just saw 3 people murdered by a shotgun at close range. Like, can you even fucking imagine?
That's why I missed it. I just wasn't connected to any media for like
we were all kicking it
day.
over here. I saw like a little blurb. I didn't know what the extent of it was.
Yeah, because early in the day I heard like a school shooting, 1 dead, it's already over. And then like they obviously, as the details started to roll out, it was just like, oh god damn it.
Yeah, and dude was like fucking like probably armed to the teeth.
Oh, that's exactly what it's like. He's like chucking pipe bombs down the hallway. He like literally walked in with a shotgun just primed and was just like, thank God he went into this art room where there was like another exit to the room. It was like near the stage or something. They had some like backstage thing. At least that's what it kind of sounded like. Obviously I've never been to the school, so I don't know the details, but it sounded like the kids were basically able to just like rush out of the back into this backstage area, and like there were other ways out of this room beyond like the one entrance, so it wasn't just like thank God it wasn't a fucking shooting gallery. But you just gotta wonder, like obviously it's always like, well, why like what happened that was like this kid was like, this is what's gonna happen to my life right now.
There was that whole like
people snap, man.
Try and reach out to that kid that you think is that kid, and that doesn't help at all. You're usually like reaching out to the wrong person, and you're making somebody who's just like feels socially ostracized even more so.
Yeah.
It's something that you can't predict, I feel like you like the YouTube shooter or whatever. The
guy who walked into the YouTube headquarters?
It was a woman.
A chick, sorry. It's hard to keep track of all of them.
I know. This chick walked into the YouTube headquarters, and she had this like conspiracy thing built up in her head that they were.
That's right. Okay.
They were. It was like post-adpocalypse, where YouTube started like really nailing down.
Oh, that's
like,
right. Because she
content.
was like a fitness person who got demonetized, and she was freaking out at YouTube over it.
Yeah, and it probably wasn't because of her content being like offensive or whatever, but that's what she put it to. She was like, oh, they're trying to censor this like this vegan message or whatever, and that's the crazy part. It's the not stereotypical like gun nut person. It was just this like kind of like left yoga workout vegan archetype who just, you could kind of see it once you like look at her content. It's like, oh no, nobody was trying to like really stifle your creativity or like put you back or anything. It's like you were literally just fucking delusional.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing is I don't even know how to describe it. Like maybe greedy or whatever. Like it's stereotypical capitalism. YouTube did that just for more money. They didn't do it to fuck anybody. They literally, they did it to put more money in their own pockets. It wasn't like they were trying to censor her.
I would say yes and no, because There was things like the Jake Paul fucking incident, the suicide forest. I hate to fucking... But yeah,
come on, man. Why are we giving him time?
That's what I'm saying.
But still, like we were on like the Japanese committing suicide and stuff like that. Like he literally went and exploited that like part of their culture, and it's fucking shitty.
And he's still a recommended video.
Yeah, he is fucking now.
He has been back on it for a little while.
Yeah.
I wouldn't actually be able to say. Like, the last thing I saw him was somebody else making fun of him showing up on a Little Tay video.
Oh my God,
What's a Little Tay?
Don't even. That's another thing that deserves
What's a Little Tay?
No fuck. It's something that deserves no attention. If you never hear that word again, consider yourself fucking
Consider
lucky.
yourself lucky.
All right. Well, then I'll just say thanks to the heroes out there, though, that step in the way of some of these psycho people.
On that note, let's take a short break.
Yeah.
Yay! Did you find rock? Did you find rock on the adoption stuff?
No.
You didn't look, did you?
No, I forgot.
Fucking asshole. Looks like this, except he's all white.
We're gonna come back and be like, "Hey, y'all, you ready for some comedy?"
This is a full service podcast. We'll make you laugh. We'll make you cry. We'll change your life.
Yeah, put up the masks of theater.
So that's your podcast, huh?
You've been listening to Radio Loud. You can find us on Podbean at radioloud.podbean.com.
Or you can look us up, Radio Loud, on YouTube, iTunes, Google Play, or Stitcher.
Or you can tweet us at Loud Podcast. Only use caps, please.
All caps when you spell my damn name.
Put down that water pipe, you dirty dope heads. It's time for Suggestion Box.
Okay. I want to start by saying we actually had a response to the Canadian CCU.
Yep.
I saw that. I did see that.
Right. Shout out to James Newman.
Newman.
The Newman. Dude's actually really cool. He does a bunch of like astrology photography.
I don't know if I can
Oh,
trust
that's
it.
cool.
I swear by Seinfeld, anybody named Newman's got to be bad shit.
That's cool. I'll check that out.
You can't because you're not on Facebook, dude.
Fuck book.
Oh.
So he had a suggestion of...
Newman, get on Instagram, bro.
You're not on Instagram either.
I don't need to be on Instagram to look at people's Instagrams, though. I need to be on Facebook to look at fucking people's Facebooks.
I've only seen it on Facebook, so I don't know if he does it on Instagram.
I'm sure he's on there.
Anyways, his suggestion for a Canadian superhero was Devin Townsend as Mr. X, which I think is a Professor X archetype.
Professor X.
I hope it's Devin
Mr.
Townsend
X.
with the Pickles hair. Because that's who... Pickles is based on Devin Townsend when he was in Strapping Young Lad with the comb-over dreads. What was he thinking?
But did you just imagine as some sort of like he's actually a psychic super genius? He's actually stealing all his ideas from going in Cerebro, taking it all. That seems a little bit too evil for a Canadian supervillain. That's his greatest crime is just pre-copyright infringement.
Dude killed it with the backstory because he is already a Canadian native.
Yeah.
I didn't know he was a Canadian native.
I didn't expect you to actually know who Devin Townsend was.
Well, I had to look him up after I saw it because if he doesn't rap over hot bars...
What, did you have to look up the Pickles hair too? If you have some pictures of him with the old hair, because he's just bald now because he wizened up.
But no, I have the old pictures with the giant... Oh my god,
yeah,
some of these...
he looks like Pickles.
This boy was a handsome man.
Devin Townsend,
Strapping Young Lad was the band.
He's a prolific songwriter from Canada. He's got
chops. He's got chops.
The Hard Times had a hot take on him. It was Devin Townsend takes 1 week vacation. That's big news because he's always coming out with something. Yeah. It's fucking crazy.
He's a workaholic.
I have so much respect for artists like that, though, who just love the craft, produce the music, and
right.
are just machines with their work ethic.
It's like it's crazy though. You have to get to some like level of being able to have a bohemian lifestyle where you can allot yourself the time where you don't have to like scratch and survive just to pay your bills and put food on the table to actually like pursue your art. But you know. So, second read?
Yeah, for sure. Let's talk slang. Did you know that the slang term in Japanese for bisexual literally means dual wielding? So
I did not.
Yeah, it's
which is what?
It's basically
you just don't want to butcher it, or what?
Yeah, I don't want to butcher it. And I don't remember it off the top of my head because, shocker, I don't speak Japanese. But it basically means like, you know, swinging both ways, or being in love with, you know, being able to kind of use both hands, be flexible, if you will. And I think it's really cool, you know, that it kind of almost like relates back to samurai culture. But what is maybe some euphemisms we should start calling? I don't know if you want to. Also, okay, 2 ways we could take this. 1, give me
You got the thought?
Yeah, it's basically.
Put it on your tongue and spit it out.
Back of my throat here.
He's self-censoring. He's struggling.
I'm super trying to say this in a way.
He's turning red.
Let's preface this by this is comedy. We're not actually trying to ostracize anybody.
So for every extra sword you carry, are you in love with one extra gender up to the full 58 until you're just a man who's carrying all these swords?
You're just so burdened by your arsenal.
I love them all.
You're over encumbered and you
can't even move, dude. You're just a walking pointy boner.
It's like, what's this guy's problem? It's like he's trying to make it back to camp.
Dude, I would love to play one RPG where you actually like physically were carrying all the shit in your bag.
Like in real life, like a LARP thing where it's just like, oh, here's all the crap you have.
Yeah, but I want to play like a Skyrim where it's like you go into third person mode. Your boy is like got a snake whip backpack on,
with snakes,
stacked with swords, armor. There's like an orc leg sitting somewhere in the pile and shit. Just like, oh, it only weighs 5 pounds. Just stacked up. It's 6 times your height, and you're out here fighting motherfuckers.
On the same like note as that, I actually had something written down as
beautiful. Spiral at me.
It's called Lando, as in Lando Calrissian, pansexual.
The one and only.
So I saw this screenshot of an article that said, well, is Lando Calrissian pansexual? And apparently somebody involved with the movie production was saying, like, abso-fucking-lutely he is. And it was posted to...
Unofficial as fuck, though, right?
I don't know. It was just
Do you want to explain pansexual to some of the viewers that probably have no idea what that is?
Can only get a boner in the kitchen.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Oh, I was asking you too.
Oh, me? I can't.
I think it basically means I like them all.
It's
I'll Google it. Let's see what Google has to say.
You don't base like anything on like gender or
it's the sexual, romantic, or
not
emotional
limited
attraction.
To sexual choice to regard with biological sex, gender, or gender identity.
Yeah,
like they're gender blind. They like them all. Yeah.
This was posted to like a Facebook page called Star Wars Sith Posting, and sometimes they get a little bit like carried away with like political memes, like carried over into that.
I hate that it's just influence.
And it's like a bunch of people like Star Wars. So there's a bunch of different people with a bunch of different political views, and sometimes there's just a big shitstorm. So somebody had posted this and just was like, what the fuck? And I was looking at it, was like, of course Lando's a fucking pansexual. He's like, in this alien universe, of course he's fucking some alien pussy.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he doesn't give a fuck.
It's
like,
not even
what
it's not even a fetish at that point.
Right.
Just like 50% of this population is not fucking human.
Right, absolutely. So I wrote down, it was like, of course Lando would fucking have him. And my follow-up to that was, so would Riker.
I mean, Kirk did it first.
Yeah,
right.
Kirk was banging all
Kirk
of them.
did it first.
All types of strange.
Oh, yeah, taming it, dude. The wild edges of the galaxy, dude. Get that fringe, baby.
He likes him green.
That's kind of crazy that they were like proposing him going out and having sexual relations with aliens, and then all of a sudden, he kissed a black woman. He kissed a black woman on TV.
Yeah. This is America.
Right, this is America.
Oh, I finally watched that too.
It's fun.
Oh, you got some
my This Is America. Well, I wanted to talk about the This Is America thing because you just mentioned it.
Right.
I finally watched that. I think I watched it too late. I think the hype made it. I think the hype made it bigger than what I
the hype built it up grander.
Yeah, the hype built it all up. Did I enjoy it?
It's just a
it was
video.
a cool music video. It's definitely not my kind of music, but like it was a cool music video. But I was expecting, trumpets and fanfare and fucking I was ready to get my shit rocked. And I went into it and I was like, oh, that was cool though. But
yeah, I mean, it's not like this message hasn't been said before. And that's like the big thing. It's like a lot of people are looking at this like,
no one's ever said this before. Yeah,
no one's ever said it. Where did Donald Glover come from? It's like Donald Glover's been in the fucking media industry for like 20 years.
Right.
He's been writing for shows. He's been making fucking rap albums. He's been starring in multiple TV shows, motion pictures. Like, what do you mean, where did Donald Glover come from? Donald Glover's been fucking all over every media surface for years.
That is something I absolutely wanted to make a point about it. I saw somebody... there has been a shitstorm about the memes now. Like, of course, something got popular.
Let's meme it.
Yeah.
That's culture.
It's going to be, this is how we do culture now. And I see the argument where it's like, we're turning this into a meme, and that's kind of one of the points of the video. But that is also helping the spread of the video.
That's how we disseminate knowledge nowadays.
Right. Through memes.
Through fucking little bites of just...
So somebody just latched onto that. It was like, man, you are completely destroying the message of this video. And it's like, okay, Donald Glover has been doing this for a very long time, and everything he does is like, it has a backing of a company who is trying to make some fucking money. And he's trying to make some fucking money too.
Yeah.
And this is not only going to help it make money, but it is going to help it spread even further than just like any media blitz, which we talked about last week.
Yeah. But Donnie, I liked the video, and I really have to back you up, Doug, with that. It's not all one shot, but it's pretty damn close.
Right.
Yeah, I like that style.
Right.
I like that style of video. I like it where it feels like it's one seamless. I like it where it's one seamless thing. It definitely wasn't, but like it was pretty fucking close. I enjoyed it.
Well, they had to do a couple cuts just because of the way like they intentionally wanted to like flip the scene at the breaks.
Yeah, I know.
So I mean, obviously that was kind of the whole point of like they only had cuts when they flipped the scene back and forth, which was really cool though.
It was a cool video.
Okay,
Gimme, Doug.
I have a read entitled "Modern Abortion."
Mm.
Just click on subscribe to the baby.
Is there like a limit? Like you got to unsubscribe within the first 3 months?
Oh, could you imagine? You could shadow ban your baby.
No, it'd be like an Amazon Prime subscription where if you forget to fucking cancel it when the year comes, you're just fucked. You get 1 year of Prime, and if you renew for the second year, that's the baby.
I feel like the shitty father would be like, I'm gonna unfollow.
I'm gonna return it. Restore credit.
Do any of you guys have credit cards with BMO Harris?
I have a debit card.
No.
Okay, because I have a credit card with them, and I actually just got a letter in the mail that they're changing the service agreement, and I need to call so I can discontinue my credit card.
I'm actually leaving BMO.
Yeah, basically the service agreement, it doesn't say this outright, but we're gonna open your number up to telemarketers to get money off this account, basically.
Fun fact. Did you know,
like, fuck you,
it is illegal for GPS, which is subsidized and funded by the government, and a lot of companies like use the government's GPS basically infrastructure. There's basically 3 systems in the world that run GPS, and a combination of the 3 of them can pinpoint anything. But It is illegal only for companies or anybody running GPS to sell your data to the government. It is 100% legal to sell your real-time GPS live coordinates to companies.
Zucked off.
Like, it is 100% legal for your Waze app or your Google Maps to be like, hey, producers, hey, oh, this guy stopped at a Wendy's before because we track him in real time. Let's throw him a Wendy's ad on the fucking app.
They're actually adding that into large facilities with like hotspots. They're going to start using those hotspots to triangulate your position within a building with multiple stops. So if you go into a shopping mall, they know what stores you go into. Yeah, they know what stores you're going to, and you know where the stores are. It's like definitely a double-edged sword in their favor.
Everything we get for convenience, we give up probably twice over in privacy.
Oh, yeah. Fucking sucks.
Oh, don't worry. Soon.
I'm gonna go Ron Swanson.
Soon. There was a push like a while ago. It was like, oh, just get all these senators like porn information or whatever.
I almost said
just get it out there, and then they'll realize how fucked that all is.
Yeah, I'm gonna dox all of them.
Get all their juicy internet searches and fuck.
Ted Cruz ain't the only one fucking liking porn on Twitter.
That incest shit on.
It
was my intern.
Yeah, sure it was, buddy. You didn't switch accounts, buddy. You didn't switch accounts.
I almost said, instead of a double-edged sword, I almost said sword of Damocles. What was which was that, Roman or Greece?
Greek.
Okay.
But yeah, the sword of Damocles is like something hanging over your head, like a sentence that's waiting.
Yeah, it's like hanging by a thread.
Yeah, it's basically like a guillotine, just poised above your head, just ready to chop it.
Yeah, it's like ready to go either way.
Yep.
What's the string of life with the three witches?
Oh, the three weavers or whatever.
Yeah, what's the string of, is it just called
the tapestry of life or something?
But whatever.
So, Sean, I know you like ancient Rome, but this is because I didn't know. I just like got my info there. It's like, this is actually Greek, not Roman.
It's cool. I'm actually a big fan of Greek culture too.
This is
Greek's better anyway.
Roman's essentially adapted Greek culture. Right.
Stole
it was
it.
like, this is pretty cool. Let's
this is your culture? This is mine now.
This is mine now.
Yeah, Greek's better.
This is Logisticles.
Nice.
A Greek legend of logistics. He kept the pits stocked.
Always at the right place at the right time, dude. Just in the nick of time.
Right.
Logisticles was actually the patron saint of lean manufacturing. Fucking Trump and all the Republican Party actually pray to Logisticles.
He actually manufactured all the little bitty penises to go on the statues.
Yeah, what's up with that? We talked about that. Why they all got such little dicks?
I think it was more desirable in the time. It was like more masculine.
Oh, to have a baby dick?
Yeah. Maybe they were just all... They're growers, not showers, okay, Sean?
Yeah, fun fact. Yeah, I don't really have a follow-up for tiny marble dicks.
Really?
Unfortunately, I did not foresee that twist and turn.
I mean, when you're making those statues for all those famous emperors and stuff, you don't want to make them feel bad, Sean.
Then why'd they make them all so small?
Because they want the emperors to feel good.
Yeah, it was the heroes.
Oh yeah, the heroes have the little dicks, but the bust of the emperors are looking at them like, I got a package down.
Yeah.
Got a big old horse dong.
Big old donkey dick. Too bad. What's her name's not here.
I have another read called Ketchup Palette. Trying to make a basic flavor seem complex. I saw this Facebook post where it was fucking Heinz tomato ketchup ice cream.
What?
Just made my fucking stomach.
Oh, I saw that.
Dude,
I mean, to be fair,
nasty?
we just posted a video of somebody chopping a Whopper up into ice cream last week.
Right. But in the thread, a bunch of people were like trying to explain it like, oh, it's like a combination of like savory and sweet and salty. And it's like, dude, it's ketchup. You're trying to make ketchup seem like it's some sort of culinary.
There are places where you're not like allowed to put ketchup on stuff because it's seen as just disgusting.
Where?
And rightfully so.
Where?
I actually think it's in Chicago. You're not supposed to put ketchup on some of the hot dogs.
Would you like to know more?
On the dogs.
Yeah, if you put ketchup on a hot dog, they put you on a wall of shame and say,
You know what?
That's such a Chicago fucking thing to do.
I'd fucking go.
Hey, look at this douchebag over here.
It's like, it's taking its picture. It's just like,
Let's put him on the wall, Frankie. Yeah, fuck that guy. Yeah, that.
but like overall, I think ketchup is kind of seen as a.
It's a kid food.
favorite actor Dennehy.
Favorite drink of Bulls. Bears, Hawks, Sox, Bulls. I do for real though. I've been on some Serengeti.
Right, dude. He was in town this week.
No shit.
He was in Madison, not in town. He was in
Okay.
Madison, I think.
A nearby town.
Yeah, but it's just like crazy. It was just like pops up.
Yeah,
I'm looking up this ketchup ice cream.
it's hilarious.
And it's just a ton of pictures of Ed
let's-
Sheeran.
Let's you want to full screen it?
I'm looking up tomato ketchup, but there's a lot of pictures of Ed Sheeran. like this isn't even. This is
Old Eddie Coppercrotch.
like there's a lot of comparisons with him and the ice cream. Like this one isn't even the ice cream; it's just him with ketchup.
the thing we didn't know about. Ed Sheeran is Ketchup Boy.
Yeah, this is something. This is news to me. Like this one is. This is just him.
There's Heinz ketchup ice cream, and you can blame. Oh, is he the guy who made it? Is this like his flavor? Hey, we're Ben and Jerry's. We're gonna make.
I guess. Okay, this is an article from the Pittsburgh Post because I can't read it because I.
Oh, you got advertised too. It's like, oh, we're the New York Times. You've gotten your 10 free. You're done.
But they're trying to say you can blame Ed Sheeran for it. I'm gonna look into this. I'll get back to you guys in a second.
We'll be back at the top of the hour with more details on the Ed Sheeran situation as it develops. Until then, here's back to the suggestion box and your regularly scheduled programming with Douglas Dolbert. Take it away, Doug.
All right. Next read is entitled "First Date."
I'm so good at those. I crush first dates.
It's like a woman. She's like, "Oh, I love a man who's in touch with this feminine side."
I'd like to touch your feminine side.
So the man's just like, "I'm pregnant."
You're the mommy. I'm not gonna abort.
Or yeah, he's just like, "My water just broke." It's like, or I'm on my period. Just what is just some sort of feminine thing that's just like, what would you if you
Do
were
I look fat?
Sean, do I look fat?
I mean, yeah. I mean, not at the moment.
I mean, you are fat.
You're not really fat though. You're a big guy.
I've got the solve on this Ed Sheeran. And I mean, obviously they can see it on the screen if it's up for them or whatever. But I got the solve on this. So an ice cream parlor in Ireland made Ed Sheeran this ketchup ice cream because apparently this guy is obsessed with ketchup.
Oh my god, my nephew is like that. He will just eat ketchup.
So they made an ice cream for him and they tried multiple times to get it right instead of just accepting the fact this is disgusting and it needs to be tossed. And here's this is on top of it. They put fresh ketchup on top of this ice cream when it's done. And you were saying people were trying to defend this culinary decision of savory and sweet ice cream and ketchup.
Indefensible.
Because here's the thing. First of all, ketchup is loaded with sugar. It is not
Savory.
It's not savory.
No, it's not.
It's like if you go to the store and get a Bloody Mary mix, the first thing you need to look for in the back is if it has high fructose corn syrup in it, because if it does, your Bloody Mary is gonna taste like a fucking ketchup.
Fuck those fructose.
Like sweet and savory that goes on the hot dog is the mustard and the ketchup.
Yeah, the sweet is the fucking
It's the fucking ketchup.
and the bite, the accent is the mustard.
That's what I need. Is just some some spice, some tomato, maybe a little bit of like brine.
And
some
what, a
salt.
hot dog?
No, and a Bloody
Okay.
Mary.
I was like, what are you putting brine on your hot dogs? No, I got
You could do that with some relish.
Dude,
Brittany had her first Stubbies bloody. She liked it quite a bit.
you need to come by Monsieur Lubert's. This boy has taken the fuck off with his bloodies. When we go over there, he will.
Oh, you like bloodies now?
No, I think they're disgusting, but I appreciate the amount of effort he puts into them. He flavors and seasons multiple different types of vodka from like mild to spicy. And he'll have one that's like celery and carrots and garlic, and then he'll have like at the top of the scale like the jalapeno garlic, and like he'll have like a different mix for each one. Different types of cheeses and fucking different pickled that he's canned and seasoned and fucking spiced himself to base on the type of like whether you want the low end or the high end of hotness, and he will just customize you from scratch an entire bloody. And it's
Give me all of the stuff he's been curing the longest, so I can just
you want the rich flavor.
so I can chug it all and not appreciate it. Just to fucking turn into a drunk.
But then he'll just pour you another one.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that dude is a mean host. That boy will have you coming in, taking off your shoes, and feeling like, I don't know if I want to leave.
Well, I can't because I'm drunk.
I have to live here now. So shout out if he listens. I don't know if he does.
Cheers.
To booze.
Taboos!
To Luber.
Yeah, when's
Good
he
guy,
coming out?
Friend of the podcast. I'm actually seeing him tomorrow, so I will let him know.
Like when he's...
Yeah.
yeah.
Let's get him out here.
That's what I'm saying. I'll talk to him tomorrow when I see him, see if he wants to come out maybe next week or something. It's just hard because both of us are so busy with schedules.
Okay. Next one, very simple. Stucco Iron Maiden.
Stucco.
You know the shit that you put on the walls?
Yeah.
And it's all like textured, you fucking like scrape up against it.
So what, you want to...
Just like
wanna
cut
stucco
your
A?
flesh off. You put that inside of an Iron Maiden. You know,
Oh,
like
okay.
not the band.
Okay.
That's what I was just like, wait.
I was like, what, Stucco Eddie?
Do you mean staccato Iron Maiden? Like,
No,
I'm very
I mean
confused.
like the actual torture device Iron Maiden.
Oh, ooh.
Yeah, and then you it's just stucco on the inside instead of spikes.
It's like that scene from Matilda with all the nails in the fucking closet door, the spiky room, but it's stucco instead. It's like stalagmites, just a
Matilda, what
plaster.
a fucked up movie that was.
Dude, for real though, that's literally just a movie about child abuse.
Or neglect.
Little column A, little column B.
Yeah. You got another read?
Yeah, I do. Oh, hold on. My phone's been having a lot of issues lately. Okay. Floating islands. This is slightly...
What, like a Yes album cover?
No. Like a flotilla town.
So a Yes album cover.
I don't listen to Yes or know what any of their album covers look like, so you're just missing me with that fucking joke. This is happening in real life. It's being funded. It's like a brainchild of somebody out there. They want to make essentially the ultimate libertarian floating town that completely self-governs, runs on cryptocurrency. It is completely isolated and not
let's
affected
try this
by
one.
the outside
Waterworld.
world. Yeah, it's 100% Waterworld.
I've used that in...
Would you live on there? Especially being the idea that if you don't like the government, you can just push off and go find a different island floater.
No, it would be fucking terrible.
Could I actually just chip off a piece of the island that I helped build?
No, that's the idea. Is every person has basically, it's like a fucking Civ game where everybody's got a hex, and they build a little house on it, and that's yours. And you can hook up to the town you want to be in, and you can detach and go jump into a different town if you want to go follow.
And then you can become London, and then you can swallow all the other hexes that you find floating through the sky.
Yeah, I actually used this exact idea in a campaign thing we did.
Cool. You want to take it over then? You just want to run the whole thing then?
No, because I would not do it. That's what I'm saying. I would not do it. It would be terrible.
Do we miss that joke last episode?
Yeah, we actually missed an episode where we pulled that one. Fuck!
Damn. Combo breaker!
To fucking fight more.
It's Waterworld.
Fuck less.
It's Waterworld. Can I have Nick Cage on my hex?
What was that?
I said it's Waterworld. Can I have Nick Cage on my hex?
Nick Cage isn't in Waterworld.
Yeah, that's
fucking Kevin Costner.
Kevin Costner.
Spacey?
Kevin Costner.
I'm sorry, I watched Con Air 2 days ago. That movie sucks.
Whoa.
Con Air?
And Con Air is Virus Osiris.
Dude, Con Air is a great fucking movie.
When was the last time you watched
All right,
Con Air?
we're gonna cut to break because we're about to either fight or fuck.
I got one for Sean. He's gonna love this. This is a continuation of Dr. Manhattan retcon.
Yes, give it to me.
I got 2-1. One's more complex. One's pretty simple. So let's start with the simple one.
Yeah, tease me first.
Dr. Manhattan, medicine woman.
Ooh.
As in, like, place of Dr. Quinn, medicine woman.
Oh, okay.
So it's just like a week by week thing where it's just like fuck, it'd be like Quantum Leap or something. It'd be like that meets Quantum Leap where he's like traveling around and
just
like
literally put him in Quantum Leap, but instead of like taking on their appearance, he's literally just a blue naked man.
But he's a doctor
every time,
and he's just always trying to bring the medicine to them. He always has to get to the town that's in some remote outpost on some planet who doesn't have a team of sled dogs to get it to them in time.
Thank God that Dr. Manhattan just leaped here and is now able to bend time and space to just go straight Balto and bring the fucking medicine to the little Inuit boys and girls dying of fucking yellow fever.
Oh, fuck. You got it? You got any ideas for Dr. Manhattan before I go in the next Dr. Manhattan?
Oh my God, I want to put Dr. Manhattan and Dr. Zhivago together. After searching, I was.
So you just want big blue dicks on those Dr. Zhivago shoes that you saw?
No, I want, because I'm thinking the movie, because all the shoes, we were talking earlier off air about a bunch of new shoe styles I saw. I'm not going to plug the brand because they're not paying me.
He wants a pair of wingtips, custom made.
But yeah, I'm getting these custom-made hand leather stitch shoes from Portugal, and they're all the different designs they have are based off of different fictional characters. And there's a set called the Yuri Zhivago from the book, I believe, a book and movie, Dr. Zhivago. I think the book's called The Island of Dr. Thoreau or something, and the movie's called Dr. Zhivago. But
so you're just gonna get the Dr. Manhattans where it's just like neon blue and black, and it's just dicks on the fucking top of it.
The Dr. Manhattan
and on the bottom, the treads just perfect pecs, perfect abs. It's just his fucking torso on the bottom.
The Dr. Manhattan's the shoe glove where it has like the individual toes.
See, I feel like
real toe shoes.
Yeah, the real toe shoes.
I feel like it'd be more cowboy boots, where instead of like the point coming up, it's a big blue dong.
That or the Dr. Manhattan would just be the foot of the model. You wouldn't even buy. You'd just pay them money for nothing. They'd send you an empty box.
Could you imagine that?
That'd be sad.
Sean Connery's character from The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen gets the ultimate kill. He kills Dr. Manhattan and makes him into fucking like stingray boots.
I love the idea. Here's my issue. It will ruin the canon of every other movie we've retconned. What if instead Dr. Manhattan kills Sean Connery and makes him into stingray boots?
I mean,
but he gets.
I mean, it's only a movie. It's not like Dr. Manhattan can't be in the other ones too.
He'd shine him up, and then the boots would be like, "Look at how I sheen."
I'm Sean Connery.
All right, my other read for the
spot.
Dr. Manhattan was Dr. Manhattan in Caddyshack.
As the gopher?
No. Dr. Manhattan replaces Rodney Dangerfield's characters.
Boo.
And instead of him not understanding the rules of the country club or the members or how they interact, he just can't understand the needs of the beings with corporeal form.
He's like accidentally destroying their bodies and stuff and just doesn't understand mortality.
Right, and they're not kicking him out of like the country club or anything like that. Because he's stacked. He's got a lot of money.
Yeah, he's the right kind of people.
But you'd have the like dude fucking like launching his yacht, and Dr. Manhattan would just be like starting his like little tugboat with like a fusion reactor on it, and it would just fucking just like
and just rip the front of the yacht off.
No, just a perfect hole suddenly is in the hull.
And it begins to sink. These people are like crying. He's like, "Welcome to a day on the beach." And they all drown. And he's like, "Enjoy the water, humans."
That's all I got for the Dr. Manhattan retcon this week.
If you out there in La La Land, not the movie, the people who listen to the podcast, have an idea of a movie you want to see a big blue dick in, holler at us. Tell us where. Tell us why.
At Loud Podcast on Twitter.
The tweet.
Or on our Facebook page. Just fucking look us up. I'm not even sure what the fucking address is for that. But
RadioLOUD. I don't know what the thing is, but if you look up RadioLOUD, you'll
there's
an
@. There's an @ for Facebook.
I know there is. I just don't know it.
Me neither.
Also, we're going to be, I don't know about this week, but maybe next week, we want to get a viewer email signed up. So you guys can email us directly if you want to send in questions, whatever. We'd love to have a little chime-in segment. If a couple of you folks would like to throw your 2 cents in and it's not too fucking stupid, we'll probably read it.
Yeah, give us some us some love letters.
Tell us who the cutest one on the podcast is.
RadioLoudcast@gmail.com.
Boom.
You guys want to talk movies now? Because
I got a few more reads. It's kind of relates to movies. It's BD Listers Walk of Fame.
Okay.
Where it's like they put their like
Bruce Campbell.
handprints. Yeah, I knew Bruce Campbell was gonna come up.
This is like my
Bruce
favorite.
Campbell's B.
Yeah, no, I feel like he's transcended into A.
No, he's B+.
He's B.
He's B+
Yeah, B+.
status.
A minus.
There's no pluses or minuses.
He's B+.
That's what the... No,
maybe in yours.
You're all wrong.
So, it would be in Scranton, Pennsylvania. And it would just be in some fucking like bullshit town.
Mm-hmm.
And the hot spot would like, I don't know, be outside the methadone clinic or something. That's where everybody in the D list wants their fucking square.
So I feel like the D list would be there, but the B list would at least make it in like Ohio or someplace.
That was my first place, Scranton, Ohio. And
there's a Scranton in Ohio?
Yeah, there's a Scranton in Ohio and there's a Scranton, Pennsylvania.
It's one of those reoccurring names like Springfield.
Yeah, every town's got a field next to a spring. Who would have fucking guessed? That or the ones named like directly after like European towns.
I feel like if we were going B-listers, Hank Azaria would definitely get a square in there.
It's not that he hasn't been an influential member of culture, but he's almost unrecognizable. Yeah. He's definitely a Wizard of Oz type of man behind the curtain. I mean, as a lot of voice actors are. I totally agree with you that he's a celebrity of some note. But I feel like you could bring him into a crowd of 30 people and maybe one of them would recognize him.
I feel like he would have been a A-lister if one of his like 3 chances where he was in a big holiday movie would have taken off. One of them being the 1999 Godzilla remake with Matthew Broderick.
He was in that?
He was the camera guy with them.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
I saw that movie in theaters.
I fucking loved that movie as a kid.
That's cool.
And I loved...
So one where they hatch all the eggs on the subway or whatever?
Yeah.
Or they walk in like the stadium or whatever and there's just like eggs. And they like wrap it up for a sequel, but this was back in like the early 2000s where...
It wasn't guaranteed in any way.
You set up everything for a sequel and then you never delivered shit.
Right.
Every single fucking
That's
IP
because the movie was a flop, like in the box office.
But even the ones that weren't a flop. Because like they were doing people act like the superhero push has just been the last 5 years. They've been doing superhero movies forever. forever. They just keep remaking them from fucking ground one.
It was so much of a flop, though, that Hank Azaria was like, that was one of my shots, and it failed.
Yeah.
And he was like about as real as it could get with it. He was like, that was like one of my shots. If that movie would have taken off, I probably would have been doing something bigger. But that came up when he was doing his PR run for Brockmire, where he basically plays a disgraced Major League Baseball commentator, and his wife just like cheats on him.
I've literally never heard of that movie.
It's not a movie, it's a series. He just like it starts out in the series, he has a meltdown during a baseball game where his like wife is cheating on him. He's just like, that fucking cunt.
I hate that cringy shit. Like, miss me with that. Like, it's really hard to, I think, eloquently do the cringe and make me not just go.
It's not cringy though. It's based on a character that he does a bunch of character voices. Like, that's his shtick. Yeah. He does like half The Simpsons. He has just this like he just has this fucking baseball kid like, foul ball in the left field.
He's got that weird like Midwestern bubbly drawl that just like permeates a lot of newscasters, sportscasters, because basically everyone is taught to speak with a Midwestern accent because we're next to everybody, so everybody can relate to it, which is like hilarious for me. Oh, my alarm just went off. Time to go to bed. But guess what? Your boy doesn't have to wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning anywhere.
Are you doing Saturdays too?
They were trying to get me to do next Saturday because my boss was out of town. And they were basically just like, hey, we know you're trying to quit this week, but can you work 55 hours next week for us just to help us out?
No.
No. So you remember the whole point of me leaving was because you guys were effing me on the schedule and forcing me to work 50 plus hours every week? And I'm leaving because of that? It's going to be a pass for me, dog.
This one's related to that. It's called a business card. It's a business card that has all your information on it, but the majority of the card, like what takes the eye at first, it just says, here, you throw this away.
Huh. Like a little bit of a reverse psychology on them, huh? It's like, am I really supposed to?
It's literally what I think every time.
You get a business card, you're just going to end up tossing it.
It's like I imagine them in
so
my
it just
head.
says, here,
like,
throw this away.
You throw this away.
It's one of those things that can be useful to the people who actually want to contact
them. But the majority of the time you're getting a business card, you don't.
That's why you order them by the 1,000. Because they throw away 90% of them.
Yeah.
But 10% of those you hand out are people who are going to want to contact you.
Yeah, so you just fucking, like, right here, you throw this away.
Yeah,
on it.
I get it. And it's a little one of those things like the joke of it might even be enough to get them to keep it in their wallet.
That's what I'm saying. Let's get some printed.
Yeah.
That's where this came from.
TM.
We were talking about it on the way back.
TM. That means trademark, noobs. Because actually, speaking of which, I'll talk to you guys after this, but I actually have some business cards that y'all might be interested in. One of my comrades, along with the proletariat, is a guitar repair artist and teacher. And I didn't know if either of you guys had any work you wanted done.
Yeah, he said he was a luthier, which is interesting because we were talking about making guitars earlier today.
So he was
is that the same guy? The same guy who was like, good at Jackson.
No. That guy does not make guitars.
Oh, this is somebody that I don't think stuff the most. At least the guy I know. And like obviously I'm not gonna go put people on blast like this because he doesn't know that we do this. But I'll bring it up afterwards. And I don't know if you guys have any work you need done. I mean, I know you were looking at one, but at the same time, I don't know if you want to buy a guitar.
No, we were talking about actually making guitars, but just like we know that there's a lot of work.
Yeah, this guy makes guitars.
Yeah, but it would be cool to make guitars.
Oh, you mean as a guest?
I mean, I could totally ask him if he wants to come on. But yeah, he makes guitars. He gives lessons. He's actually a really interesting guy.
Is his name Guy?
No, his name is Glenn.
Oh. That was the name of the guy earlier who mistook the other Doug for the dildo story.
Oh, Guy was the guy who did the thing that Guy did?
No, Glenn.
Glenn was the guy who did the Guy thing?
Yeah.
To Doug.
Glenn was the guy who did the dildo Doug to the other Doug.
Which guy? I can literally do this all day. This is me
too.
This is me and my father's penchant right here. We will have a dinner, and it's really fun when I bring over a girl. and we'll sit there and we'll launch into this. And
what, like the Who's On first?
Yeah. Me and my dad literally have damn near a pre-recorded Whose Line Is It Anyway skit between the two of us, and we'll just kind of bust it out after a drink at dinner.
Improvers. Just hang them all.
Yep. Step up to the gallows. But and the girl will always just like look at my mom like, is this just the... And my mom will just kind of give it a look like, this is the show. I've had front row seats for 25 years. And she'll like explain that like, when it gets too much, you just tell them you have a headache and they need to stop.
That does not work for all you ladies out there. I've known Sean for a while.
Oh, it doesn't work on me, but it works on my dad because my dad's a better human than I am.
All right, I got one more.
Okay.
This is an idea for a game company called Tornado Entertainment. And instead of it's just all the hillbillies from Blizzard. It's just the hillbilly archetype in all the games, like the Marines. Yeah, all the Terrans.
Because they're all from the South. This is actually after the South rose again, and we are now the Confederate States of America. And welcome to the Terran Dominion.
It's kind of crazy because like a lot of American rocket scientists were like Southerners.
Yeah, I mean either that or former Nazis.
Yeah. Yeah, or fucking Werner von Braun straight up.
Yeah, like literally the Japanese scientists who were pardoned for war crimes as far as performing fucked up experiments on Japanese or Chinese prisoners of war. That's Area 731.
That's kind of the gist of it. When we defeated the Nazis in World War II, we were like, "Oh, are you a soldier? You can go back to normal life." Were you higher up as a soldier? You're getting hung by piano wire. Yep. Were you an engineer or a scientist?
Welcome to America.
Welcome.
Yeah, we did that.
This is America.
Yeah, we did that to Germany.
Trying to be slipping up.
Big time. We did that to Japan quite a bit too. And
that's just the end of the war pickings. It's just what happens.
Brain drain. It's real.
Yep. It's the spoils.
I have something that I probably can't share because it's not my thing.
Then why'd you write it down?
Because it was fucking hilarious.
Couldn't rework it or anything?
It was already like prime material. And I wrote it down, but it's just like, I can't steal it.
All right, that's the end of my reads. We at the end of this one?
I think so.
All right, let's take a break. So come out to the coast. We'll have a few laughs. We'll do a podcast. It'll be fun.
You've been listening to Radio Loud.
If you want to find us on multiple media platforms like YouTube, just type in Radio Loud, you big dummy. Or you can find us on Google Play, Stitcher, or Podbean at radioloud.podbean.com.
Questions, criticisms, if you would like to get on the show, add us at Loudest Podcast.
Why'd you make me watch that dumb fucking movie?
What do you mean? That's exactly... What do you mean?
Polka King.
Yeah.
You know what you did.
I actually didn't think it was that bad. This is a glitch in the Matrix.
I didn't hate it, but the way you hyped this, maybe it's a little bit of This Is America for me, but you were like, oh, it's so funny. Oh, just Jack Black, he's Polish.
I could see that, how much he hyped it up, that...
and it was literally just like...
He was like, oh, this movie's so good. Like, watch Polka King for like 2 weeks.
And then I watched it, and it was like 15 minutes in. Is it just a Ponzi scheme movie?
That was my This Is America thing for me. But at the time, I didn't know what the movie was. When I saw it, it was just on Netflix's header, just new Netflix original movie
for months.
It was been up there forever.
I also had no idea that it was based on a true story. And when I was watching, I was like, "Is this a true story? No, this is too ridiculous."
Yeah, when he meets the Pope.
Yeah, and it like keeps going. I was like, "But it is a true story. But it can't be because this is just too weird."
But it's
just weird enough.
So because you've been talking about it, you're right. It's been on Netflix, like it's been on there, like they're promoted for months because Jack Black is A-list, and
Jack Black is A-list,
and we got him to do one of our movies, big star movie starring Jack Black.
And they But I couldn't find it right away, so I searched it. And right next to it is the documentary, The Man Who Would Be Polka King. And it's the true story of Jan Levins, or the fucking
whatever this dude's fucking name was.
That's what it's called. It's like fucking Ice Guardians being next to Goon.
Yeah. And it was 100% just like, okay, so here's the documentary that Jack Black thought nobody else had seen that's still on Netflix. And it shows up right next to his movie. And it was literally just like, okay, it's a Ponzi scheme movie. So the whole middle act, I know everything that happens between minute like 20 and minute like
well, then you knew the ending too, or whatever. Or I don't know how they had the documentary briefed. Because
I hadn't seen the documentary, but you just like, you know,
I got that it was going to a Ponzi scheme thing, but I didn't know it was a true story when I was watching. I was like, is this a true story?
Oh yeah,
there's no way though.
I knew it like.
Yeah, I didn't know it was a true story until the end.
Yeah. I did not know till the end, and that was like all the enjoyment of it for me. It was just like, it was a real story, and it was just weird enough where
the only thing in that story that really makes the true story is the Pope shit.
The Pope shit was incredible.
He shit talked his way to meet the Pope.
Right.
Yep.
That is fucking amazing. Like,
God tier.
We have a bus full of elderly folk.
We did not plan this out. I have $10,000 in a briefcase.
Winging it.
I gave it to a priest, and he said he'd work something out.
And then, in the moment, he ordains somebody after they get them meet the Pope. It's like, you shall now be Nicky Patel.
His buddy who catches him. He's like, this was fucked up. I can't believe you did this. You're a con artist. He's like, tell me what you want, Nicky. And Nicky's like, I always want to be Nicky Pizzazz. And they have like a heartfelt moment of Jack Black and this fucking guy.
And then he
like,
sleeps with his
mom, his mother-in-law.
His mother-in-law.
Dude, the fucking okay, like, and that's the thing. Like, there were definitely moments in that movie where I was watching it like weirdly after work one day. It was like one of those situations where I'm just like, there's definitely moments of that film where I laughed. Like, it had moments.
I cried.
It changed my life.
But you 6 out of 10'd it.
That's generous.
What are you giving it?
I'd say I'd give it a 7.
All right, yeah, I'm 7 out of 10 in it.
Yeah,
I guess we're all in the
it's 7.
pretty same range.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Like, 5, like a 5 is like, would I watch it again? And like the 6 is like, yeah, if it was on, like,
I'm not gonna watch it again. I'd recommend it for like one, one good
shot.
watch.
It's a one shot.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
there's nothing wrong with that.
I don't necessarily mean watch it again, as I wouldn't turn it off if it was on.
But did you guys watch the after credits? All the shots of him with like
Hugh
Hefner,
the actual
fucking
guy,
like the president.
Yeah, the actual guy.
Yeah. Oh my god.
I was like, oh my god, he played polka for Reagan.
My mind was My mind was blown though at the end. I was like, oh, this is a real story. I've never heard of this guy, and he was in deep with the Ponzi.
Dude, the best part of it though is they make it sound like it was the most complicated scheme ever, and it's not.
Nah,
you just kept getting more money.
I didn't really get that from it. I didn't really feel like they sold it like it was like really complicated. They kind of sold it like he got in a little bit
over
too
his
deep,
head. Yeah,
and
he didn't know what he was
to
doing.
continue.
The start of the movie was like that, but some of the descriptors and some of the like the ending, I thought kind of alluded to it being like, oh, it's like this Ponzi scheme that no one even knew existed. It was like so complex, and it's like not really though. He just kind of kept getting old people to give him money.
Yeah, I didn't really get that. I thought they painted him in I'm in over my head, and he had chances to come clean, but
here's
he
what I
took
took out of it. I feel like it was a commentary on him being an immigrant, essentially the American dream, not as the pool and the white picket fence, but as Hunter S. Thompson described it, as the big win.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, I'm going to all of a sudden win so big that everybody is going to be my peon, and I will not have to care.
Yeah.
And that is a legitimate and valid commentary on our culture that so many people hold. It's like, oh, I'm just going to win big, and then I'll never have to fucking work again. And everybody tries to do that.
There's a saying that in America, there are no poor people, only temporarily embarrassed millionaires.
Yeah, that is just...
And that's a real thing.
That is one of the things that is driving us into the ground.
Yeah. Because it's like, 99% of you are never gonna have more than $100,000 in your bank account.
Sorry, motherfucker, you ain't about to break 4K in your bank account.
Like, there are, you know what I'm saying?
You're living broke forever.
That's how a hierarchy, that's how a social system works. Someone's got to be at the top. We organize ourselves in hierarchies, in pyramids, and everybody can't be a millionaire. Like, at some point, we may elevate the like living conditions of everybody, like where even the most basic person probably has it now better than they did in like the, you know, the Stone Age, or like, you know, in certain areas of time. Like,
that's that. We have enough of this and everyone comes up a step, but you're still nowhere close to the ultra elite.
Exactly. Like, there will always be people who have more than everybody else. And that's not necessarily something that's like super avoidable, but at the same, I don't know. I'm just going off.
Nikki Pizzazz
and
and the Polka King movie.
Pizzazz.
Nikki Pizzazz and the Polka King movie. My only thing with it was watching it. They made it seemed like he didn't really know what he was doing was necessary. Like, they painted him in like this ignorant light when it's just like you're ripping off old people.
I almost caught it more as like he just developed a cognitive dissonance where he was eventually, I'll make it big enough where I can just pay him all off, and it'll work out. But I
feel like the real Polka King in the real story knew exactly what the fuck he was doing at a point.
That
maybe
is
it started
actually
like that.
a story that happens a lot, where somebody tries to one day I'm going to like get this one big contract, and it's just a means to an end to get something in order to like provide, but
get in over your head.
Yep.
I thought it was a good movie though. I liked it. I'm sorry I didn't enjoy it, but you did enjoy it.
I appreciated my time with it.
That's all we can ask.
Yeah.
Because you text me basically a poop emoji. You're like, what the fuck, dude? Why'd you do this to me? And me and Doug were over here at the same time chiming back and forth about, at first I didn't know what Doug was talking about. He was like, oh yeah, that's a lot of, what did you text me? Papal, you were like, that's a lot of Pope something.
Yeah, I was like, oh, this is like Pope. This is like Polka excellence, and he's like, "What are you talking about?" It was like on a Sunday.
That's gonna take a lot of papal investors to go see the Pope or something. Because I was texting you about it.
And then he finally got it.
I was like, "Ding, ding, ding! Oh my god!"
Yeah.
And then he texted me the next day. It was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I've texted you so much because I fell asleep early on a Sunday."
I sent him like 5 texts.
And I had just like fallen asleep, and then he pulled like the fucking panicky girlfriend thing. He was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm texting you too much."
Please don't break up with me. I'm not always like this.
I'm a bad texter.
You and your girlfriend
I'll text like a line. I'll be like, wait, I had way more to that.
You both text like you have word vomit.
Yeah, because I text exactly what pops in my head. That's
the
how I write.
most I've gotten out of Brittany lately was, cute doggy Snapchat.
She's like, oh, I'll send you another doggy Snapchat.
Yep, that's basically how it goes.
The double down.
She's living through her dog.
She's the double down.
She's a total sweetheart, but yes, she is.
Who, Brooke? Oh,
Yes.
yeah, we love her.
Yeah, I actually went over and said hi to her today. Been watching too many dog gifs. Oh my god, was she excited. It was so cute though. Emily busted out like an Uncrustable. Right on cue. She busted out an Uncrustable, and Brooke immediately smelled the peanut butter in the sandwich.
Trying to grab that
just
shit.
went right down, like fucking sitting super cute and poised right in front of Emily. Just like
you gotta give me some of that, right?
Oh, I smell that. That's mine. I deserves that. Oh my god, so cute. Like, she popped up on the couch next to me. She was going nuts with that basketball too. She is absolutely fucking bonkers.
She loves that shit. Final Four, NCAA.
Yep. People's dogs, people's pets. We love them.
And we use them to bait you in.
Yeah, we're gonna change the.
We're gonna add
RadioLOUD.
a cat cam too. Get ready for that.
So
we're also gonna add a scat cam for whenever we go to the bathroom in between.
We got inspired.
I'm the scat cam.
We got inspired by that live leak video.
We got a little something for everybody here at RadioLOUD. Whether you're a pet person or a poop person, we got your fix.
Does that mean whether you're like a fucking like a scat person or like
A cat
little
person.
gimp in a fucking like chest.
Yeah.
Being like, you're the pet in that situation.
Yeah, like a little bit of doggy play. Like, we'll put a collar on you. Fuck it. Radio Loud. We're open to all types. We're the first only pansexual podcast.
Got some doggy sound bites on there for us in the future.
Lando. So as somebody, in a related story, as somebody else's.
Hold on, can I just insert one thing? Lando Calrissian, just a wino.
Who's the Ross reference that I'm not getting there?
Carlo Rossi, that shitty jug wine that's like $5 for 2 gallons. Lando Carlo Rossian, it's just a fucking wino.
It all makes sense now.
Is that a bum wine thing?
Yeah.
Dude I used to live with, we hadn't like seen each other in a couple years. And he came over with just like a bunch of bum wines.
Oh, the night train.
He had some
little Mad Dog.
Mad Dog 2020 and some night train. I showed up a little late to that party. I'll let you continue launching into this great story.
I lliterally had never had a drop of wild Irish rose, and I'm like, hey Nick, what's this taste like? He's like, a diaper.
That guy is a trip and has
a
some of the greatest.
After that baby ate Indian food.
That guy has some of the greatest stories.
Yeah, he's just a fucking character. And hey, Marv, come on the show, please.
Are we gonna do costumes for Halloween?
So you can actually tell probably one of my favorite stories of all times of the Borders bookstore. That's probably like straight up one of my favorite stories of all time.
My favorite's The Notebook.
Our Notebook story?
Yeah.
Oh,
that
man.
one's good. We're going to bust it out on the podcast one day. It's like a 25-minute long story. So we're going to save it for a day when we talk about it. No more. Of course you would.
Now you guys got to keep listening. We're hitting you with the 90s sequel.
Episode 100 will tell the story.
Yeah, it's the 90s sequel movie. It's never going to happen. Just kidding, it'll happen.
Do you guys expect not another teen movie too? Wait till the year 2018.
Yeah, this time Captain America shows up as Captain America.
Captain America's in not another teen movie?
Yeah.
I guess he was. Holy shikes.
Yep.
Janie's got a gun. He was that guy. He like shows up with like whipped cream and cherries on his tits.
Yeah,
he does.
It all just cobbled together in my head, but it was just...
that's Captain America.
I gotta say, after being drunk over at your house the morning after 10 Things I Hate About You, way better. Way better flick.
Oh,
than,
because Brittany made you watch it? 10 Things I Hate About You?
Yeah, it's a good movie.
Yeah, it was
way
a good
better
movie.
than Not Another Teen Movie?
It was the first movie. It was the first time I had watched that. And
He's awesome, dude.
Liked it. Loved it.
Better than what? Not Another Teen Movie?
Yeah.
Oh.
Absolutely.
Yeah, dude, 10 Things I Hate About You is a good flick. Heath has some acting chops.
Had some acting chops.
Oh, too soon?
Too soon!
Too soon!
Too
Oh, no.
What, was there some kind of bet between which one was better?
Oh, no, we're just saying Heath Ledger's dead.
No, I meant between Not Another Teen Movie and 10 Things I Hate About You.
No.
Okay.
No. A bet going behind your back? Is that
A side bet. A side pool, if you will.
I don't remember. I don't remember if maybe I said
that
something. I don't remember if I said something to
I
Brittany.
get you. I get you, Sean.
Not
You know,
another teen
there's-
movie is
there's
better
a bet
than
going on. It's like actually, me and Britt had a bet to
See which one of them got to big spoon you that night after you fell asleep. You either got a jetpack or a fucking fanny pack. Doug was the fanny pack.
You know what's messed up? Running. I actually wish I had a fanny pack because I have no like pockets on my jogging stuff, and I want some for like my keys and my phone.
Oh no, buddy! Here's what you do: you get Bluetooth headphones.
I have those, which I actually have to buy a new pair because the ones I bought are fucking broken.
And you get an arm strap where it just puts to your arm and you put it right in there.
What do I do with my keys though? I gotta get that fat ass carabiner.
Either bring a single key, or call Brittany when you get back.
or just like have it.
I could just take them.
Have
off
it
the
tight to your
carabiner.
body so it doesn't clang, or stash it in your car.
Yeah, like you can just stash it somewhere probably.
I could just take it off the carabiner.
Yeah, like just bring
All
the
right.
single key.
Skirt. I want to segue as a related story to the Polka King guy.
Did you listen to his soundtrack?
No. This is a
Actually,
news.
he's got some chops.
This is a news story about a real, a recent music person's empire crumbling. Spotify removes R. Kelly.
Yeah.
Oh, I like this segue. I'm changing our artist to here.
They haven't removed him from Spotify.
No, he's still on Spotify, but
Yeah.
they removed him from a recommended playlist. And here's my thing about that: is you should let me decide who I want to basically ban from Spotify. I don't care. Because there are artists that are in my circular feed.
The point of it has been that they would have to ban retroactively every artist that has done something fucked up, which is
a lot of
all
people.
of them.
There's a lot of
All
people
of
out
them.
there.
Led Zeppelin
But-
kidnapped a 14-year-old girl. Like, you can't even put anybody
We were
on.
talking about Varg earlier. That guy killed somebody and lit a church on fire. And he's still on
his
my
shit's still
recommended
up.
playlist.
right. But R. Kelly for having that little fucking sex cult that he has going on.
Yeah, I mean, he's a fucking freak.
I mean,
but
fucking Chris Brown has one too.
there's some people that are convicted pedos and the music, my preferred genre of music, that I don't want to listen to this guy's stuff, but he's still showing up.
The entertainment industry is full of scumbags.
But they need to have a setting where you can just ban these people, where it's like, I don't want them on my feed. I don't care if other people do, but I could just not have this show up again. And
Have
even
a blacklist feature.
Yeah, and even then I could use it so I get a more diverse search setting, not even just because I don't like this artist's choices, but it could just be like, I see these guys all the time, I know I like them, I could get rid of them, and then you could cycle in new stuff in my circular playlist.
Same. I have that problem on almost every music service I use.
You like something now, you just are stuck with that.
I have a core set of artists within 2 or 3 different supergroups, and essentially once it realizes that these are kind of some things I like, it literally just hits the same 3 labels over and over. And it's like, I already know about these. They're all things I've already heard.
Get a better algorithm, team up with Facebook, steal more of my information,
right?
And
here's the key to the algorithm: you never heart anything. You only dislike stuff that you don't.
I actually do heart a lot of stuff. I make sure that I do the plugs on
for Pandora. I'm more talking specifically for
I don't
Pandora.
do Pandora.
Yeah.
Who the fuck does Pandora?
There are people that still do Pandora.
Goddamn savage.
The only
It's an
people
older code, sir, but it checks out.
The only people I know who still do Pandora have gray hair or no hair.
But if you ever do the radio stuff or any of that stuff on Spotify, don't heart stuff. Just down it if you don't like it.
So before we segue into music straight up, this is music related. I just wanted to talk about the hot mess that was Steven Tyler of Aerosmith on the Joe Rogan Experience this week.
Did not see or hear.
I watched a little clip. I don't know
uh,
what to make of it. I didn't watch the whole thing.
I watched.
What did you do? What's the big?
I
headline?
watched it live. Mm-hmm. And I was trying to explain to Stephanie, basically there are structures to having a conversation that you don't even think of.
And
Steven Tyler just does not follow any of them. And it's
he's
not
so fried. Doug said he's so fried. It's when you've done drugs to a certain extent that it just damages your ability to carry the conversation.
Look at Keith fucking Richards. They literally bring a backup guitarist on stage to play his solos for him because the dude's too fried to even play the guitar anymore.
I wonder
he made
what
the Amazing Spider-Man theme song. That song's awesome.
Did he
But-
though?
For the cartoon, yeah.
at
Oh,
one
okay.
point,
Yeah.
That's back in
literally,
the
he was like, you don't think people lived before the Ice Age? And Rogan had never said that. And Rogan was trying to go into damage control.
Just okay, yeah, let's talk a little bit about Aerosmith. There's something that's normal.
Not even that. Fucking at one point, Steven Tyler had professed that they had mentioned monkeys, and Steven Tyler was like, I'm a bonobo.
Oh.
Yeah, it was just fucking
disjointed
crazy.
And damaged conversation.
And
it was hard for you to watch.
I was like trying to make sense of it. I was like, am I the only one thinking that this is just
garbage time?
Yeah.
This is garbage time. We would cut that.
That's where you'd hear the
Yeah. Basically, we're trying to move into a format where we don't cut anything, but that show literally cuts nothing. They just publish it, and rightfully so. They had comments disabled during the live feed. I don't know if they just do that standard, because I rarely watch that show live.
Most big name things, especially on anything they think will be the slightest bit controversial, comments disabled.
Even then, at the same time, a lot of them, it's just like, it doesn't matter. And they're not trying to breed any division between their fans, because eventually, at some point, people they just start drawing lines in the sand for no fucking reason.
Let's see that.
I had to go to the subreddit for that show just to like get some semblance that
just some feedback.
Was I the only one that felt like this?
It was like literally, it was like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? Like, but yeah, fucking Steven Tyler.
We're gonna have to listen to some of that on the way home. I'm very curious about how retarded this guy sounds.
It seemed like he wanted to launch into conspiracy stuff.
That was for one segment, and he tried to continue with it.
It's really too bad. I want to play some. I want to play some Aerosmith right now. Just be like, that's.
He tried to continue with it for a very long time, but Rogan was just like, he's had this conversation over and over again with a bunch of people, and I get like Rogan's position with it. It's like, okay, like,
can you write to him and
you
be like,
get this like little fucking like idea that he's this cerebral pot smoking liberal, and he wants to talk about all this crazy shit, but when it comes to like aliens and conspiracy theories, he actually like shoots a bunch of that down. And Tyler is just like, oh, what about evolution from monkeys? Like,
that's out there, man.
But you need to just write Joe Rogan to pick up the Biker Mice from Mars bit, so he can just play that and then shut him down.
He doesn't pull sound bites.
Oh.
He doesn't pull a sound bite.
I don't know. I don't watch.
That's
podcasts.
a gimmick for nobody podcasts.
I will say on
America.
about one major podcast, Your Mom's House with Tom Segura and his wife.
Don't listen to it.
I have a couple times,
Never
and there's been a couple
house.
Good episodes of it, but they are just
They don't know how to do
way too liberal on the sound bites.
Yeah,
which is why I am reluctant.
You want to tell us about?
You want to?
I was gonna say, Sean, you want to tell us about your time in the hot seat? How much power you felt coursing through your veins?
It's more of getting a feel for what's where and when it's appropriate. It's very similar to the Britney criticizing my 20 minutes at the camera helm. Oh, you mean I touched it and wasn't automatically got at it?
Hey,
sorry.
That was my first night too, bub.
Yeah, but you also set up the program, knew how it worked, and like kind of had like some experience with it.
They were your key bindings.
Yeah.
3 buttons.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that I also did anything
3
atrocious.
buttons.
I just like scanned.
No,
around the room.
I actually thought you did pretty good.
Yeah, I mean that wasn't.
I was
terrible.
like literally just like, hey, you want to take the hot seat?
Yeah, and it was fine. It wasn't the end of the world. Was it professional scripted camera work? No, not even fucking close.
I still think your criticisms were apt. I mean,
was it going to
be perfect? Did I think anyone was going to be perfect? Did I say that it was your first time doing it?
Hello, none of this is ever going to be perfect.
Yeah.
It's the nature of the beast of just
basically
having an
what we're
organic
saying
conversation
is
and trying to
Britney,
capture the lightning in the
shut
bottle.
up.
We're saying, Brittany, you're right.
We're saying, Brittany,
it's never going to be perfect.
You've been demoted to a horse now.
Just keep
happy birthday
to you.
All right, this segue was going somewhere, and then we segued again.
Going into music.
We're trying to get into music.
I tried to go to R. Kelly, into Steven Tyler, into music. Let's go into music. Who wants to go first? Sean, take it away.
All right. This week, I have been listening to an album that is not the new Kanye album.
He's
Thank
honest.
fucking God.
He's truthful. He's out there.
I got you
He's
with
the
that.
man.
Actually, I am going to hit you with some non-hip hop this week. I am going to hit you with a little bit of an artist named Warren Zevon.
Warren Zevon.
Yeah.
All right, fucking lawyers, guns, and
The
money.
money.
Lawyer and
Dude,
Werewolves in London.
Werewolves in London is a great. I think that's actually he's got a latest release, which is kind of a little bit of everything.
How is that possible? He's dead.
Well, it's the album who owns the rights in his estate, who is trying to make money off of him.
So Stefan, that's
Artist 101.
That's why
Biggie Smalls literally released a new album after.
That's
he died.
why they killed Hendrix.
Yeah.
So they could just chop up and remaster all his stuff.
But the new greatest hits, quote unquote, supercut, Werewolves of London came out this year. And
you mean the Kid Rock song?
No. Stop.
Don't you fucking hate that?
Stop.
How Kid Rock essentially stole
it. He just mashed up two songs and was like, this is art.
It's like, I'm just gonna take this melody. This is mine now.
And that's the problem. That is, I can literally not show anybody fucking Werewolves in London without them going, oh, this is from that Kid Rock song. It's like, no.
I like the track listing on here though. It's just his.
God damn it.
His biggest two songs are the first two songs on this greatest hits.
This
Werewolves in London and Lawyers Gun and Money are the first two songs right away. Get them out of the way.
Alien Ant Farm covering Smooth Criminal.
That was hot.
That was hot. They didn't change the song.
But they made it theirs. Yeah.
They made it theirs while nobody had any mistake that this was a Michael Jackson song.
100%.
Unless you were an idiot kid who had never heard Michael Jackson before, and that encouraged you to go watch or go look up Michael Jackson.
And Alien Ant Farm. That was how covers should be. They brought their style to an old classic.
I'd just like to say,
made
though,
it fucking prime.
Alien Ant Farm didn't have anything after that, though.
No, they definitely fizzled after that. They didn't really generate much hype after that, which kind of sucks.
But
that was a good cover.
Because they didn't actually sound like that.
It was a great cover.
No,
it was just bizarre.
But like I'd said in the past, me being an idiot kid in that era, I went out, bought their album, and it encouraged me to listen to some music that I might not have necessarily been exposed to.
Totally. I mean, that cover is probably the best business decision they ever made.
And I feel like that is lost because in the day of the single, in the day of streaming, where you could just go listen to the single for free on YouTube, you don't have to get the album, and you don't have to listen to the rest of the album.
Yeah, but at the same time, if a single video generates 20 million views, you can also much easier ramp that up into a, hey YouTube, I'm now the shit. Let's push me on everybody. I think it's a lot easier to like view and realize and go, this is our hit. Let's do more like this. We are now this sound to appeal to the masses.
But the case with Alien Ant Farm was that Smooth Criminal was nothing like the rest of their body.
And that's kind of what Stefan was saying. It's like that song was great.
It was a total one-off.
Yeah, but the rest of their shit. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Let's go back to Warren Zevon.
Yeah.
Warren Zevon. I've been, ever since my dad showed me Warren Zevon when I was probably like 8 or 9, my dad being like a huge old school classical rock like music file, basically burned me like any CD I wanted, especially he was a big Napster guy in the day. It was basically like, anything you want, give me that shit. I'm going to print the album art on a disc fucking print and slap it on there, and everything you have going to look like it came out of the studio.
I'm going to pull this one on you. Yes, Daddy. Yes, Daddy. Yes, Daddy. Mm-hmm. Yes, Daddy.
Yeah, I'm here, baby. Just keep on, keeping on. But no, it's got like everything. It's got like everything from like Werewolves of London, Lawyers, Guns, and Money, which has been used as like the multiple intro songs on like procedural courtroom dramas.
Wait, it's not even about the lyrics with that. It's the hook.
It's all about the hook, dude. I said, bring lawyers, guns, or send
lawyers.
The
actual
that's
song?
The chorus. The actual hook is. So memorable.
No, yeah, it's
memorable.
Great. And
I love the lyrics to that song though. Like the whole entire overarching story is just great.
A meadow waitress,
just like I always did. How was I to know she was with the Russians too? All right, we can't go anymore. If we do one more bar, we have to pay copyright fees.
Right.
It's got, and here's the thing, is it's got a lot of the really good deep tracks you probably haven't heard from him. Like Johnny Strikes Up the Band's really good. Excitable Boy, who's literally about a creepy local in a small town who the town is not equipped to handle his mental illness. So he essentially goes from like, everyone just kind of like, oh, he's just an excitable boy. And it's got this really, really upbeat tempo. And you listen to it the first time and you're like, oh, that's a cheery little song.
That's how the best depressing songs are.
And then you really get into the lyrics and it's like, this is a sick fucking kid who's like creeping around at church, biting an usher's leg, like during a church service because he's a little psychopath, takes Susie to the prom, murders her, gets sentenced to jail, gets out of jail, digs up her grave, builds a cage out of her bones. And like, and then every time it just cuts back to this chorus, like, excitable boy, they all said. And it's just like fucking, I'm trying to think of the word for it, like that dissociative, like, it's so happy, it's so fucked up. It just like, it really gets into you. And I don't know if he has My Shit's Fucked Up, but that is probably...
Yeah, I was waiting for My Shit's Fucked Up.
Dude, My Shit's Fucked Up is one of my favorite Warren Zevon songs. I actually don't think it's... Rollin' the Headless Thompson Gunner, I loved as a kid, too.
This was the same... okay, like, nowadays, who's the popular country artist?
There's like... Cowboy Troy, he's still in the news, right?
I've never fucking heard of him. But the Cowboy Troy to Warren Zevon was...
Warren Zevon.
This is like Stefan saying
Ian
Kelly.
I know.
Oh, it's the best, though. God, that used to get under your skin so well.
Used to,
like him saying zealots. But
zealots?
He was around the time that like Alabama 88 or 80-hour work week was the popular country song or country album, and I could still get behind that kind of country.
I almost don't call Warren Zevon country as I do southern rock. He's like a Lynyrd Skynyrd and the... I don't know if I'd call him...
Really? He's just like pop to me.
It's like today... No.
Pop.
No.
Buzz him.
Do it.
I guess I haven't listened to anything outside of Werewolves and Lawyers Gonna Money, but...
He's got some deep shit, dude. He's got deep fucking tracks. Check him out, Warren Zevon. Especially if you're a young cat out there, you might not have heard of him, but he will. He'll fuck your shit up.
He's like Hank Williams III, where he has a song entitled "I Put the Cunt Back in Country." Like that's his style, where it's like it's very raw, like
it's almost Johnny Cash in its fucking delivery of
very explicit.
Yeah,
like Merrill Haggard and all them. I like all those guys.
Yeah, you'd really enjoy some of the deep tracks of Warren Zevon if you gave him more of a listen, because he's got a lot of really dark and well put together music. Like
he's not a happy guy.
No, like Rollin' the Headless Thompson Gunner was one of my favorite songs as a kid, and it has this because he's a big storyteller musician, which I'm a big fan of. And it's just got this great, like, adventure tale of, like, this mercenary down in Africa fighting for yada yada, gets betrayed, like, comes back as a headless immortal, like, almost like a Solomon Grundy character of just, like, now I come kill everyone from my former squad. And he's hunting them down in bars and shit. And it's like, this is a brutal fucking song. Big fan. But, Doug, why don't you take us away with the next album?
Okay. Mine actually is related to hip-hop.
Oh, hell yeah. We switched it up. We got Freaky Friday with you.
Blockhead.
Oh, okay. I've listened to Blockhead before.
Blockhead is somebody who basically worked with Aesop Rock. Mm-hmm. And if there was no Blockhead, there probably would be no Aesop Rock. And they're both like kids in Manhattan, basically, and they were working together. Blockhead, sorry, I don't know his actual name, but Blockhead wanted to be an MC until he linked up with Aesop Rock and just like saw what his speciality was and realized what his skill was. Not necessarily was not, but what he was actually good at. So
coming to terms with the acceptance that you have skills in a certain criteria versus someone else.
Not everyone's a lead singer, man.
Where you can like work with somebody. So
you're the superpower duo.
They both found their initial success, both Aesop and Blockhead, with Def Jux, the record label. That was my initial exposure to Aesop. Was a dude named Nate who was just like, oh man, I'm all about the Aesop rock. There was Def Jux, there was Blockhead, there was Aesop, there was a producer, his nickname was El Producto.
Yeah.
So that's where both of them kind of came to the limelight, where it was like late 90s. They had a couple of like independent releases together. The album that I listened to by Blockhead was Music by Cavelight. It's just a instrumental album. It's very downtrodden. It's very, I wouldn't say as eclectic as his later styles, because like a lot of his later styles have some crazy mashups. But this one is like the album is actually very, very depressing. He also, which I didn't know, started a band which was like it was a comedy hip hop troupe called Party Fun Action Committee.
Oh my god, that sounds really familiar.
Yeah, right?
I didn't know he was involved in that. I guess I don't even know all the people in it.
I like checked some of them out in like the retrospect of it, just like kind of seeing what's related to this. And it was like the title track off of one of their albums was just some stupid like frat boy like satirization, where it's just like frat boys doing what frat boys do, not excusing it at all. It's like actually like really exposing how fucking shitty some of the like this like culture
Croquis.
is.
Yeah,
talking about croquis and boat shoes a little bit there.
Yeah, making some allusions to the common date rape that occurs inside Greek houses. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, it happens.
But yeah. One of the things that I always liked about Blockhead, because I had initially gotten into him in like 2007, 2008, 2009, was when I was first getting exposed to like sampled loops. And I was like, well, this dude's name comes from like sample structure. When you're looking at an MPC or like blocks of music and time, or just like structuring things in MIDI, they're all done in blocks. And I was like, that's where he got his name from. Now,
I think he's a big dummy. Sorry.
Right, like just a big stubborn dumb fuck. So, cheers.
Salute.
I don't know if that one actually made it. Did that pick that up? He might just think he's a big dummy, a blockhead.
So one of the best tracks off of Music by Cavelight is Insomniac Olympics.
I'm a big fan of that title right there. That's a good one.
Yeah, you should check it out. It's got this very...
if you worked with Aesop, he clears my bar. Aesop, as you know, at the moment is probably one of my top 5
I think it was like his first two Tree albums. He was basically responsible for the music behind it.
It's a little Eric B to Rock Him right there.
I love those vibes. I love when you see the dynamic duo of DJ and MC.
Palling it up.
The Macklemore Ryan Lewis, I believe it is. The Rakim Eric B, Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince. You get it in Apathy and Self. Yeah, we dropped that.
That was something I hadn't
there.
gotten until recently. Until there's this new YouTube hip hop analysis channel where this guy like explains the history of hip hop, and I did not know
the behind the scenes of
Jazzy
it,
Jeff and the Fresh Prince were like
an actual duo before the show.
They were a deal.
Yeah, he brought him on the show like, yo, I got a show deal.
If
you
I'm
want to
doing
come
this,
be my
he's
crazy
coming
friend?
too.
Yeah, and he got dude
If I'm
on.
doing this, he's coming too. That was his thing.
And I'm talking from a person who is not familiar with like watching the Fresh Prince.
Oh, that was my shit, dude. That and the Steve Harvey show.
I still learned one of my greatest lessons from Fresh Prince, which was
never zig when you should zag.
Shut the fuck up. It was Fresh Prince was having a really hard time, and he couldn't figure out a way out of a problem, and he went to Uncle Phil. Like when the problem had already exploded and been blown out of proportion, and Uncle Phil told him that as a man, it's not a weakness to ask for help through the connections that you have, basically. Like, it's not a weakness to ask someone for help when you've taken the time to establish these connections.
Typical bourgeoisie bullshit.
Sean, I'm gonna seize your means of production.
Yeah, grab me by the dick, dog. Grab me, seize my means of reproduction.
So the last thing I wanted to say about Blockhead was my favorite work of art by him was the music video for The Music Scene. And
I don't know if I've seen that.
If you have not seen the video for The Music Scene, this is not off of Music by Kayla. It's off of the album The Music Scene. It is this work of art for hand-drawn animation.
Is this gonna blow This Is America out of the water, Doug?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
It does have like a social commentary where it is.
Of course it does.
It's essentially taking
music.
Like animals observed in the wild and kind of like smashing them into the TV and morphing them into one another. And there's this stem of like nerves that is just like taking over everything.
Okay. I've seen this one.
It is like
it does blow This Is America.
That's some stereotypical
some
day tripping fucking hip hop from New York. Like that is that's
it is a kaleidoscopic smorgasbord
of color and just blast.
That was a lot of syllables.
It's just colors and blast all over your face.
Kaleidoscopic smorgasbord.
Smorgasbord? Are you part of the smorgasbord group, Sean?
No, I'm a poo-poo platter pal.
Do you
myself.
go to those like devil cult meetings in the forest?
Yes, but I have to walk on my hands the whole way, so it takes me a while to get there.
All right, Stefan. You're up.
You got something to follow that?
This week for music was not awesome for me.
Really? Because I heard the new Dimmu Borgir album got you hard.
That album is so bad. I could talk about that album. Should we talk about how bad that album, or should I give him a decent album? Let's talk about how bad it is.
Let's talk about decent stuff, and then we can talk about how bad the Dimmu Burger.
Dimmu Burger?
I was going to say, if you talk about Demi Burger, I'm going to probably take a nap.
Was that another metal joke that Sean actually got?
Yeah, he watched Metalocalypse. He enjoyed it secretly.
Sean is actually clueless in his eyes. Like, looking at his eyes, he's just like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking
Dimmu
about.
Burger? It was a
Metalocalypse. It's probably one that slipped by him.
I know who Dimmu Borgir is, and I get the, like...
Dimmu Burger?
Like, the burger thing. Like, obviously, like, how can you hear...
There was an episode of Metalocalypse where not Murderface.
They all had to go back and get day jobs, and the lead singer had to go work at Dimmu Burger.
Dimmu Burger, yeah, and he gets his face fried off.
Yeah, no, that was a straight whoosh on my head.
Okay, yeah.
I was drawing the obvious
I knew he was
connection.
just like, I saw it in his eyes.
Okay, the decent album I had this week was by Ishan, which is not spelled how it's phonetically pronounced. Which I looked up, it is Ishan, but it is IHSAHN. And his album is Amr, AMR.
What genre is this?
This is progressive.
For the uninitiated? Is this like somebody who's gonna like give me the stigmata in a movie?
No, 100%.
This is progressive metal, so this is gonna have... Alright, a little bit of history. Ishan used to be in a black metal band called Emperor, so it's gonna be like really heavy riffs. But then the band kind of diverged in thoughts and musical focus from metal to more progressive and jazz influenced stuff. So Ishan is the more progressive and jazz influenced stuff. So he uses like a 7-string guitar, and then on each of his solo albums he introduces a new instrumental component. So like one was a saxophone, this one is really synth based, and from some of the interviews I've seen, he talked about his influences from the past have been people like John Williams and like grand composers, and this one was actually more like 80s. Like he actually referenced John Carpenter in the interview. So this one's a little synth heavy
as a musical inspiration.
Yeah, but
That's
he
nuts.
like this.
John Carpenter, as far as like he is like recently culturally significant because there's this whole like synth wave resurgence.
Yeah.
Vaporwave.
So there's that whole like the picture of Kurt Russell in his like high school years, like before Vaporwave, and then after
and it's
Vaporwave.
Snake Plissken.
Yeah, he's Snake Plissken
from Escape from New York. Okay, so Ishan.
Escape from LA was better.
Ishan, I like the guy. He is definitely
I have to be contrary.
like a hipster though, and like his musical approach on a lot of stuff. I like this album. There's a lot of good stuff in it. There are lulls to it. I'm not gonna lie. There are some parts that I feel are really drawn out, but overall,
it's got a lot of lulls. You're saying.
Like the intro, it like drags out a little bit for me, but like it picks up. There are definitely parts that I really enjoyed of this album.
That's one of those things that happens with like self-indulgent solo albums. That's what this is, right?
Wank, right? I believe
There's not that much wank because it's still Europe. There's not a lot of guitar wank. There are solo parts in here, but like the European style is not as self-indulgent as the American style, and that is just something I've come to accept.
But you don't need
wank.
You don't need
to necessarily
wank
get
to
self-indulgent.
be self-indulgent.
You don't need wank to wank.
I don't think overall.
Coming without contact is a skill, and you can learn.
I don't go jerk off to your own ass in the mirror.
I really don't
You say
find
like
it.
I haven't already done that twice today.
I really didn't find this album as self-indulgent. I'm not a big synth fan, and I'm still kind of digesting it. I enjoy this album. Is it my favorite album out of his discography? No. The one that I loved the most was the saxophone one, which was called After, because it had such heavy jazz influence, and I love jazz.
Stefan got a soft spot for some saxophone.
Yeah, I do.
It's the
saxophone is
sexiest instrument, isn't that right?
Yeah, sexy sax.
Yep.
My dad actually, like, specifically hates saxophone.
That's okay. It's a really hard instrument.
So your dad's a Republican?
He actually calls it poopy sax.
No, it does.
Yes, he calls it poopy sax whenever he hears it.
What does he call anal?
But overall, I just want to say overall, my verdict on this album is it's good.
I love you, Dad.
Overall, on this album, I just want to say my verdict on it is it's good. I'm gonna spend some more time digesting it, but I enjoy it. I think it's good. Maybe definitely give it like the 7 out of 10. Where I'm at right now with it.
You got to be a little harsher with your judgment. You saying this isn't even your guy's favorite album, just some rando shit.
7 out of 10 is like a C.
So when you say you didn't really like the synth stuff,
that's just something I'm not a fan of, and it's definitely having a resurgence, like you already said.
Get the sentence out though. Was it like the synth stuff in the end of Sean Lane stuff, where it wasn't really like a synth album? It was like, I'm just gonna have the synth do all these.
No, I can play
things.
5 seconds of this.
We have to literally credit.
Yeah,
them
that
after
sucks.
5 seconds.
I fucking hate it.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, like with like synth stuff, I need like big pads. I need textures. I need soundscapes.
Oh, Cascade.
Does it change over time? Does it go places? Yes, but the style it's slower and it grows over time. Is it Sean Lane stuff? No, Sean Lane is the guitarist. That guy is just a god.
Yeah, but that guy, he had some like really, really fucking weird synth stuff, where it was like synth was essentially the Beatles orchestration that broke them up. You know, it's like, we're gonna write this song, and then after the fact, we're gonna have a bunch of like
Garbage
stuff coming.
There's some garbage over the top. Tell you what, for next week, I'll have a Sean Lane album ready because that stuff is just hot fire.
Oh no, you can't spoil us like that.
Yeah, you can't. You can't.
spoil.
You can't reveal until I was gonna ask you earlier.
This guy does
what
not know
the
how
music
to
band that
fucking
you picked
foreplay.
out in the music band. Hello, music band. Hello, fellow kids.
Hello,
Who's
kids
Ishan?
who make the song do.
And I like Ishan. I like his approach on, or his mindset on a lot of things. And I really enjoy Emperor. Emperor is probably one of my favorite black metal bands just because it's a culmination of two completely different mindsets on music who have now diverged. But this current album, I'm not as crazy about it as After. After was just awesome.
Can I say, though, when
album.
you started this intro and you said Ishan, and I'm like, I get it now. But when you started, I thought you said Isham, the fucking Detroit-based rapper who's referenced
you were about to be like,
times,
"Whoa!"
just like by Eminem. I'm like, how does dude know who Isham is?
No.
He's referenced, like, I think in one Eminem line as this like underkey, this underground acid rap fucking Detroit rapper from like the early 90s, and it's just like, wait, what?
No, I didn't. I was gonna try and go to a whole different genre of music, but this week was just because we had the Dimmu Borgir album. Oh my god, there was like a bunch of new albums coming out and new teasers, and I was gonna try and hit a whole new genre of music. I mean, Ishan is definitely not black metal. This is progressive through and through. It is not metal. Black metal is progressive.
You're looking at me like
It's different.
I'm trying to get black metal out of you. I'm not a black metal
Yeah, I know. No
boy.
one's trying to. I'm just saying this is different from what I usually throw out there. I mean, I think I had a jazz album.
Actually, me and Brittany, your girlfriend, had a talk about this today. You think other people like black metal?
No one likes black metal.
No.
Nobody
No.
likes black
No.
metal.
And that's what
Stefan,
we're-
this is an intervention.
Stefan, we need to talk. What you're doing is hurting the people you love.
It's hurting their ears.
When you drive me home today and you play some of this fucking garbage and my ears start bleeding, you're
What
gonna
did
know.
I play last time I went home?
I remember the last time I drove you home, you tried to get me to play Fred Astaire,
But it was trying to say Dimmu Borgir.
but you're
He
drunk.
was like, could you try to put the shitty music on for me? Could you enable me?
But literally,
Physically?
he was too drunk to remember Dimmu Borgir. So he just says, play that Fred Astaire! So I start playing Fred Astaire. He's too drunk to realize it's not what he asked for. And he starts hardcore dancing in my passenger seat.
I had stolen a bottle of Tito's that time, too.
Yep. After we got all the way out.
What was that for?
I was going to try to tell Stefan a secret message, but my headphone
It doesn't
wire
reach
got
that far.
caught. I was going to say, call up Elvis's Last Stand to play us out.
Oh, lordy lord. Here we go.
Dude,
Thank you all for listening. Again, if you have...
We didn't talk about how bad the Dimmu Borgir
yeah,
album
let's talk
was,
about
though.
that
Do we
while
have
he looks
to?
that up.
That whole album is somebody having a chorus and not knowing what to do with it. They have a full orchestrated chorus and they don't know what the fuck they're supposed to do with it.
So I feel like their lyrics just go, that chorus was pretty cool.
And
We are Dimmu
The
Borgir.
chorus is like,
You know what? That's basically what it was. It's fucking-
Come
I mean-
live to a city near you. It is
Odds
Radio
are-
Loud featuring Dimmu Borgir.
odds are that chorus was not a chorus. It was just a chorus
sample?
program.
Yeah.
No, not even a sample. There's like
Just a Fruity Loops fucking loop.
no, there is like these libraries where it's like phonetically sampled libraries where
Oh, no shit.
if you can type your lyrics into it and they will
Find something
sing
that
their
sounds
lyrics.
You know,
Oh,
No,
I
you can literally
would
get the
totally back
auto-
that up, but
oh.
recently their big thing has been having the Czech orchestra and then an entire chorus come out for their live shows. But they've gotten rid of
That's
all
gonna
of
be
their
the-
primary songwriters at
on
this
this
point.
one. It's going to be a check mark orchestra where it's like check. No, wrong answer orchestra. On this one, nope.
It's a Czech orchestra. We have one guy who made sure there was an orchestra. Yep, that's an orchestra.
Excuse me. Why can't I find it?